Hello, fellow detectives. Welcome to Unlocked, the official podcast for all things Nancy Drew by Her Interactive. I'm your host, Tammy Tuckey, and this week we welcome back two fantastic voiceover artists, but they need no introduction, so here they are.
Hi, I'm Jonah. I play Frank Hardy.
And I'm Rob, and I play Joe Hardy.
And the Hardy Boys are back, which is great, because we're recording this during the Halloween season, even though some people will probably be hearing it around, like, November. But this is, like, the perfect time to record a conversation like this, I think. Because I think Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys are all about the hauntedness of houses and location. So, you guys getting ready for Halloween?
Kind of.
I am, sort of. Yeah, I ordered my costume last night, finally, so that happened. Yeah.
Ooh,
are you
what are you
going to tell
be?
everybody?
I'm going to be a Bavarian, like an Oktoberfest guy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Only because I had a pair of Lederhosen, and it was something I could just add a shirt to.
Yeah, you know, I have a costume that I used last year that I think I'm going to use again this year. And it is I love it because you could put it on top of anything. It's a Yoshi turtle shell. So... from Mario Brothers.
Anything, yeah.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's like a little backpack with like this inflatable turtle shell, and then there's like this little strap-on, like big eye, Yoshi eye thing that you put on your head. So
nice.
Yeah, that's probably my plan. But I guess the way I'm most preparing is like walking through grocery stores and just like salivating at candy.
All the candy.
Yeah,
I avoid grocery stores this time of year for exactly that reason.
What are your favorite candies?
Favorite candy? I'm a Kit Kat guy.
Ooh,
Butterfingers and Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Yeah.
Oh, they're all three of them are so good. Have you ever had like some of those Blizzard cakes? I think they've had them with the Butterfingers and Kit Kat bar before. Like
I
maybe
have no
not
idea
exactly
what you're talking about. What's a Blizzard cake?
It's like something from Dairy Queen where they usually have like a Blizzard. It's like an ice cream cake, but they put it might be peanut butter.
I have had a Blizzard with Butterfingers in it.
Oh, those are so good.
There you go.
Yeah, you need to get for your ice cream for your birthday. Get an ice cream cake with Butterfingers on it. It's so good.
I'm pulling into the DQ right now. This is I don't know if you want to like secure sponsorship, but I think we've nailed like 6 or 7 brands already, and it hasn't even been like 3 minutes of the podcast yet.
Right? This podcast brought to you by candy and beer.
And it's funny you say that. Like, it's only a few more days until Dairy Queen kind of shuts its doors for the season, and I'm like, I really want to get that pumpkin pie Blizzard that they have. Did you see that?
No, but I am kind of addicted to the new Starbucks. There's another brand. They have like a pumpkin cold brew, which is
what?
I mean, you don't need to drink it every day, but I could.
Ooh, what's in it? It's just the pumpkin type of like.
It's like their cold brew, and then they put this like inch of like pumpkin spice foam on top, and so like every sip you have is like a sip of pie. That sounds a little gross, but it's amazing.
No, it sounds really good because I love pumpkin pie. It's like the best season ever because it has candy and pumpkins, and not to just jump right back into the Hardy Boys, but they're like the polar opposite of most guys around that age. And I think like Nancy's the same thing. So I think maybe they're outliers, but so many people enjoy their stories and adventures. So did you guys like grow up with the books? I don't know if we ever talked about this in the last podcast.
Yeah, I think we did a little bit last time. I definitely did. I read all of the Hardy Boys and all the Nancy Drew books as a kid. For sure.
Wow. That's bold. Can I quiz you about like
Well, maybe not. Okay. I said all.
Yeah.
Everything that was made available to me.
Yeah.
But I think I definitely read all of the Hardy Boys, and I know I read a lot of Nancy Drew, if not all, because I kind of plowed through. I was a real reader as a kid. I plowed through anything that I could get my hands on, and I discovered Hardy Boys. Did that, and then I was like bummed because I was gonna have to reread some of the stories, and my mom was like, well, hey, there's this other detective. I mean, she's a girl, but you might like it, and they're kind of related stories, and I loved it. Huge crush on Nancy. I mean, it was yeah.
I do remember like cruising through the library, and if anyone has a library with a bunch of books that go back for years, obviously Nancy Drew has been like updated. Like the original books had these spines that are like so discernible from everything else that I think they're blue for the Hardy Boys and maybe yellow for the Nancy Drew books. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Blue with yellow writing for the Hardy Boys. Yeah.
And you could really tell, like you could be across the room and you could be like, oh, that's the Hardy Boys.
Now I'm walking across the room to my bookshelf to see if I have an old one sitting here, because I'll bet I do somewhere. Yeah.
But I definitely remember, I'm going to admit, like as far as detectives go, I was an Encyclopedia Brown kind of guy. I don't know if you read those, Rob, but Encyclopedia Brown, Another Kid Detective. Who knows? Maybe they start making an Encyclopedia Brown.
Yeah, right. It's a whole other licensing situation, right?
I know.
I remember
getting
those
way
too.
Off topic, Nancy Drew. Sorry.
No.
What I always wanted, I actually always wanted the world where they all collided, and you know, and they all got this giant mystery.
Yeah.
It seems like the only time that's ever happened, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is through the computer games. But now there's a comic book where, did you guys read the comic book? We had the author of it on the show, and it was like a mixture of the Hardy Boys and Nancy trying to solve a mystery, which I thought was really interesting. I really do love that connection and that build that all three of them have together.
Yeah, I didn't know the comic book, but that sounds awesome. I mean, I love when those kinds of stories are combined, or those worlds are combined.
You got the triple threat right there. But if you could add another threat, not really a threat, but another mystery group to the Hardy Boys and Nancy, who would you pick to join in? You know, Encyclopedia Brown, the Scooby-Doo gang. You know, other.
I was going to make a joke about Fred and Wilma will pull up in the mystery machine and pick everybody up.
When are we going to get our Nancy Drew ride, Rob?
I don't know.
What would that consist of?
It would be like me and you in the park on a headset, and like everybody who's going through the ride or whatever just hears us like saying like, riffing. Turn right, open that, check out this treasure. I wouldn't
go there if I were you.
Dig deeper. Oh, bad choice. Yeah.
Second chance.
That's the second chance. Yeah.
Would it be a roller coaster ride or a slow ride? What would you think would be most?
I don't know. I like it just them like walking around like some area and us just like basically telling them to do like, you know, to exercise.
So almost like a haunted house, like a
kind of
house where you walk through and stuff happens to you, but the whole time our voices are narrating it.
Yeah. But I like the mundaneness of just them walking around an open field and us like trying to build the world for them. And then they're like trying to dig up stuff and we're like, oh, that's just an earthworm.
What's that? Oh, it's just a bird.
Yeah. That's grass. The ride's not that exciting, but it's amusing.
I like it. I'm on board.
Yeah.
Well, let's say Nancy the Games actually had the opportunity to have a celebrity voice one of the characters. Who would be your dream guest role for one of the games if any celebrity you would like, dead or alive, could come back and do a voice spot?
Oh man, dead or alive.
I'm going to go Benedict Cumberbatch because I think he's an amazing voice actor, actually.
He is an amazing voice actor. I'm going to go Jimmy Stewart just because why the hell not?
All right. Love it.
I'm going to go George Carlin.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
He would provide some of the comedy. I think he would work really well with the two of you. I heard that you guys got the chance to work in the same studio this time around, or for the last two games, I believe, right?
Yeah, at least the last two games. There have been a couple of times or a few times where we've been in studios where we couldn't see each other. That's not as much fun. Mm-hmm. Way better when we're in the same room together, I think.
Yeah. You know, I think we recorded, you're right, like 2 games ago, we recorded together. And when they asked us to record this most recent game, I put it out there, or maybe you did, Rob, but
I think it was you.
came across in the email thread, like, hey, can we record at the same time? Kind of work off each other's energy. And I feel like when we got in there, everyone was like, this is really great. And like, it was like, yeah, like this is how it should be done.
This is, yeah,
but there was,
this is yeah.
Like,
can you imagine how long that process would have been had we not done that? Yeah,
no, it really sped by for one, and it's a lot more fun. I mean, you know, there's a good deal of lines to lay down, but if you've got someone else in the room, just to give you a little energy and to keep your energy up while you're doing it, I think it makes all the difference. I feel like there should be more recordings like that.
Is there more improv that comes with it?
They didn't really let us improv that much.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to really do that.
Are you guys able to confirm if you're not just phone characters? Are you guys both face characters? Because I thought they did new designs for you guys.
I don't deny any rumors to such effect.
Yeah.
I just didn't know what we could or could not talk about, because they gave me a set list of things and I just didn't want to touch too much on the subject, because I barely know anything about the game except that it's in Salem. So was that the presentation that they gave to you, or were you guys able to know a little bit more than per usual? Because I think you guys said that when you do the phone call portions, you don't get to know the full story, but this time it sounds like you do.
It's true. I will give you a little something to chew on, Tammy, and that is, this is perhaps the first time where they showed both of us an artist rendering of what our characters look like. And let me tell you, some good-looking young lads.
Yes, absolutely.
That will appear on the video game screen.
Are you going to go ahead and play the games? Because I think last time we talked, you guys don't really play the actual games, only to kind of see what, you know, where you guys are inserted into the storyline, right? Are you going to play this time, or? I'm
not ruling it out.
I'm definitely not ruling it out.
Yeah. You know, I could say, because I just checked this out not too long ago, you can go to her interactive.com, and I believe you can actually see a picture of our new character designs right on that homepage. We're in a small little circle. Are you guys doing it right now?
I'm going there right now.
Yeah.
I'm checking it out.
Yeah.
I remember, by the way, Rob, like, they filmed a long time ago. I forget what game it was for. Deirdre was in it, so I'm wondering if it was the one from the Louisiana game or the one from the Science Center. I can't remember, but they had filmed about 3 different people who had come in at separate periods during the day just to record their parts. So Deirdre and I think yourself and one other female. And I thought that was so interesting, because I'm so glad that they kind of switched over to having both of you be in the same room. I think that, again, as you said, it probably works better for you. But in that time period, you guys were still doing it separately, but it sounded so convincing that you guys were in the same room during those games. It's like, oh, you would never have thought of it. So when I saw that, I was like, that's just so weird.
Yeah, it's the new studio. I mean, I say the new studio, they've been there for years now, but it's way better set up, I think, than the old studio. The old studio. Did you ever go to the old studio, Jonah?
Yeah.
The one over by the viaduct.
Yeah, and that was cool. I believe
place.
There was a day that I showed up there not knowing that there was a new studio, and so I had to really high heel it up to the other studio and high heel it. That's not a thing. High hitch it. Highfalutin.
Hightail it. Were you hightailing it?
That's the word.
What you're trying to say?
Let's go with hightail. To the other, and you guys were all waiting for me, and I was hanging my head low because I messed everything up. Anyway.
It's okay.
I'm looking at the website now. I thought I just saw this, but I don't see it now. Maybe you found it, Rob.
I'm looking and I don't see it. But
there is a trailer for the new game. Maybe we pop up in that.
Have you guys been to Salem before?
I've never been to Salem. No.
No. Okay.
I did find our picture though.
Oh, did you?
Yay!
Yeah. So it's on the homepage. Okay. And there's like a ticker of the banner, right? Uh-huh. And so there's little dots. Uh-huh. We're in the 4th one. We're on a mug.
We're on a mug.
Yeah. Yes. So, like, I mean, if anyone wants a mug with Frank and Joe Hardy, it looks like it exists.
Well, you guys know about the shirts, don't you?
Do tell.
No.
There are shirts that they have made, and it says, I'm a Joe Hardy girl or I'm a Frank Hardy girl. So there seems to be like a little bit of a rivalry with the fandom of who's better.
Sales? Can we track the sales on those? I want to.
Right.
I never knew that this would be my legacy.
Right.
Yeah.
Really glad they're bringing back the Hardy Boys for the new game, and I know that's coming up. So what is one word you can use to get the fans excited about what the whole game encompasses without giving away too much?
Oh, I think I've got my word, Rob.
Go ahead. I'm still thinking.
Johnny Cakes.
Oh, Johnny Cakes. Yes.
That's actually the question from Kalina. She says, so are you clear now that Johnny Cakes is a food and not a person?
Johnny Cakes. It's Johnny Cakes.
Johnny Cakes. Johnny Cakes.
Yeah, you're right. You have a much better memory than me. For me, the thing that stands out is spooky.
Yeah.
Did you learn more about Salem doing this game, about the history of Salem at all?
I think there was a little history kind of weaved into this and that, but it's sometimes kind of hard to discern like what the writer of the game put in and is fictional versus like what historical narrative they're trying to weave in.
Especially the way we're woven into the story, because we're not getting the whole story anyway. We're just getting our little piece. So there might be a whole story around a name or something that has something to do with it, but unless we went back and looked it up afterwards, which would mean I would need to remember that name later, and I didn't even remember Johnny Cakes until you said it.
Yeah,
and that was the most fun we had all day.
It really was. There was.
Go ahead, really tell the story. I want to hear it.
No, I'm not really spoiling anything. It's just I feel like we were going through our script and recording lines, and it just seems like the word Johnny Cakes or that term came up again and again, and I just got out of the recording studio and I was like, we should really go grab some Johnny Cakes now.
I know.
Yeah. So Johnny Cakes gets to be a star for a moment. Maybe not that long, actually. I guess we'll find out when we play it. But certainly stuck in my mind after recording.
So if you guys could go anywhere in the world to go ahead and solve a mystery, where would you want to go to at the moment?
Oh, what a great question.
I've got a good one, and it's not really, to me, it's not as much an anywhere in the world question as just anywhere that I think is going to have a good mystery. I think New Orleans has good mysteries.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think there's a lot of stuff in the bayou that's really creepy, and just all the voodoo legacy and all that stuff. I think that would be really fascinating. And I think secondarily, any of the really old cities in Europe, Paris, Venice, I think would have some good mysteries.
Oh, that would be great. I'm gonna go the other side of the world, and I'm gonna say Easter Island.
Ooh.
Because there's something really kind of eerie about those statues, the giant faces that are out in the middle of nowhere on this island. And I feel like you could it could be a mystery about the faces themselves and where they came from. And I think there's still a lot of debate about that. Or it could be a completely new mystery that revolves around those giant objects and just the general vibe of eeriness.
Okay, how about this question? If you had the ability to solve any mystery that's been unsolved all of these years, which mystery would it be?
JFK.
Without
JFK.
hesitation. Without hesitation.
Yeah. No, I think ever since seeing that movie JFK, and then just like, if you go down the rabbit hole, there's so many different conspiracy theories. Supposedly there's still evidence out there that hasn't even been unearthed, and there's evidence that's going to be released like 20 years from now, according to when Jackie Kennedy Onassis passed away. It's fascinating.
That's a good one, and I wish I could also claim that one, but I'm going to go ahead and change it up and say Bigfoot. We live in the Pacific Northwest. It's a very Bigfoot kind of place. There are enough large wild places that something could stay lost for a really long time. So I like the idea that might be a thing. Knowing for sure would be cool.
Well, I'm just so excited to be able to play this. I guess we're going to have to do like a follow-up episode. I hope we can do maybe some commentary. That would be really, really fun. Because
It'd be crazy.
I can't wait to hear what you guys are doing in this game. So this will be exciting for Midnight in Salem. So
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
You guys are going to do so well. Do you have anything you'd like to plug before we kind of wrap up, or?
Not me personally.
I don't have anything coming up really soon. My next thing is next year, and from an acting perspective, and nothing really. I think if I were to plug anything, it's be nice to each other, and that sounds trite and kind of silly, but I think people aren't nice enough to each other. So it's
a good plug.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good note to end on. So be nice and give out all the candy you can.
I love it. And also keep some candy for yourself, because you need
Life's
candy.
too short not to keep some of the candy for yourself. Let's be honest.
That's true. And since we're going to be airing this in November, everybody's going to be prepping for Thanksgiving anyway. So start eating the rest of that candy. Get ready for the big mashed potato bowl. I don't know about you, but I'm ready for that.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. Thanksgiving
Always.
is the best.
Yep.